Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a daily message, so we'll just kind of see what comes up and take it from there. As most of you know, we are just getting on the other side of a major super full moon, and you very well may have been re-evaluating like what you're releasing in your current reality. Old could have come back, and it's kind of allowing you the space to release like what you were holding on to, or what you didn't even realize you were holding on to. The agreements that you made through disappointment, through unfortunate events, right? When it could have gone away, but it chose to go a different direction, right? And so like maybe you've been identifying this, or maybe you've been allowing this to unfold in your current reality, or maybe the universe has been forcing you to see that in your reality, right? Because the energy is potent, and we're in a phase right now, or going into a phase that has not happened for like 19 years, right? For some people, it's been like 30 years. You take it as it resonates. Wherever these nodes are placed in your chart, you're kind of going into a different style of love, a different style of like what you are willing to accept and what you will no longer accept. And it's kind of like rewriting your own truths. And they just kept saying, like, how are you filling up your own cup? Like, why is it that you haven't been filling up your own cup? Like, if you have been filling in your own cup, where is it that you're filling up your cup in a void? And so, like, there's going to be some relevance to that today, like, whatever comes up for you. And no, we are under spiritual warfare like it is nobody's business. Like dark entities, lower vibrational people are going to come out of the woodwork and try to take your light through the astral realm, through the mental body, and through your physical form. And so be aware to speak into existence, I only see truth. No longer allowing anyone or anything to lie to you, right? It's like, it's kind of the law of assumption on steroids, because the truth is that if somebody's full of entity attachments and they are attempting to lie or manipulate or trying to keep you in some kind of a karmic loop, when you say or speak into your existence that you are a pillar of light, that you are demanding on a spiritual level that nothing and no one stand against truth, like you are then casting in a new vibration, a new set point. And so whether or not you are under spiritual attack, like know that that kind of over exemplifies any other like law of assumption or lower vibrational entity. It's kind of like you are claiming your spiritual sovereignty in your superiority, like what you agreed to in your karmic contracts or cosmic contracts or evolutionary contracts, right? Like, because we all have like a whole bunch of different facets of our incarnation that we haven't even begun to peel. And so like diving into the why and the how come and the what's been in your space and the internal dialogue that actually isn't even your higher self. It's a lower vibrational energy that's trying to keep you in a paradigm that is lower, that is stuck. Why? Because if you, the tower, the beacon of light, step into your core existence of where it is you're supposed to be on your highest timeline, like that energy and that source completely die out, right? So just take a moment and ground into the energy, right? Identifying and just honoring like where you're at in your current reality. And for those of you over the last, like I'd say 5 days, that have literally had your emotions like all over the place, where you have been low, or where you have felt like, I just can't keep doing this. Like this is specifically for you, right? And it's my desire and hope that after this, you feel a lot lighter, that you feel more refreshed, that you feel more renewed, that you feel like you have bathed in a waterfall of white light. If there are any entity attachments or cords that are no longer serving you, that you are tired of seeing in repeat cycle over and over and over, let's just command it to fully release, deteriorate, dissolve, sending the energy back to the individuals that it belongs to, allowing them to learn their own lessons because they have their own karma and they need to get out of your field, right? You are an energetic, sovereign being in a body. If you have never dove into your mental body, just tap into that space, right? Tap into the mental body. And it's just another layer in your aura that is a preset, right? It's a underwriting program that is in your operating system. It's just there layered. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel like in your body where energy is currently residing, where there are stuck contracts, where there are stuck cords, impediments, rips, tears in the aura. And just allow like a beam of light, kind of like a star like this, to penetrate into your aura and pushing out all of the energies, right? Unwrapping that snake that is in the cord of the spine. Completely dissolving any of these old paradigms, old existences that have been trying to keep you stuck, emotionally fractured in your old state, right? And open up your heart center, seeing it expand, and it's going to end up being like the flower. It's like the chakra flower. Let me see if I can grab it, because they just said to show you. And allow that light to just emanate through the body. So you're going to activate your earth star and you're going to activate your heart chakra at the same time. Allowing codes and DNA and updated DNA codes, strands, to shift into the next timeline, the higher reality that you are meant to be winning on, that you are meant to get your just dues, that those that have chose karma, let God collect the karma through that. Let God do whatever needs to be done. But your job is to just release your past as past lessons to get you onto your higher timeline. And take a deep breath and allow your body to fully absorb all of that green light, that golden light, that higher vibration of self. If you don't know, go ahead and activate your palms and start pushing in your own aura, so that you can feel your own vibration and allow yourself to like start shifting, releasing the what's been and pulling to you the higher timeline, right? That harmony, that desire, the amplification of that, you always winning, everything always working out for your highest good, always being fully balanced in the body, no longer being able to be impeded. You are a fortress. You are having your shroud of protection activated, right? For those of you that know, like, place that shroud over the top of your body. Allow your armor of God to go over the top of it, right? Allow the golden fleece of the divine to keep you in warmth. It's time for you to go into warrior mode, where you are no longer a victim, where you are no longer weaker than the lower vibrational entities. It's time for you to step into your spiritual sovereignty, and it's time for them to know that you're not fucking around anymore. It's time for you to flip the script. It's time for you to cast demons out of people. It's time for your wings to be fully activated in the highest vibration of self, right? To where you are not walking scared, where you are no longer impeded at nighttime, where you are no longer impeded through excess contact with people, right? For those of you that are empathic, that are Hiroka empaths, that feel all the emotions, that can read people like nobody's business. Like, this is for you. This is the balancing of your energetic source. So you can step into your divine purpose, either being masculine in masculine body and being feminine in feminine body, like, and owning the energy that you were meant here to be in full divine balance, sovereignty, and accordance to why you incarnated, right? This is creating a pathway so that you can then tether into that rainbow grid, right? So that you can finish clearing up your indigo grid, so that you can help the crystallines come into their own vibration, to truly talk to the core of the earth, to truly help with the evolution of the vibrational planet, right? And this is what that acceleration of that Capricorn energy that we just got out of, right? And getting into the Cancer new moon, getting into the first of the water signs, like, this is the activation of you stepping into this new timeline, this new paradigm, right? It's like going to be a balancing of like the where you are and the where you could be. And it's like they're kind of showing me like there's fields within fields within fields, and I don't know if you're going to start peeling those layers of the different fields within you, right? Or if you're going to start like commanding that these fields like activate within your space. It's well, let me see, because they said there's something here. Yeah, there's some kind of discovery in fortune, divine inheritance, and companionship, right? There will be in alignment with the sun and the Schumann resonance through like weird. They just said like there's going to be things that you will discover over the next like 8 months that are going to be things that you positively did not see, but are going to be for the highest and best good of all. And it is going to be allowing divine partnership. It's kind of that's so funny. They just said it's like you thought like X was the highest possible timeline you could get, and so like you've been in a different vibration, like an anguish, a sadness for what has yet to be, right? It didn't come into place. And so like maybe it was a business, maybe it was a partnership, could have been a friendship, whatever it was, something wasn't aligned and you mourned it. It's kind of like it really affected the physical form. And so like you are, over the next 8 months, and I don't know specifically astrology, what's taking place over the next 8 months. It could very well be like that there's a point in the planet that will be affected, right? Interesting. They just said the snake will rebirth a new paradigm. I don't know what that means, though. So there's something to do with like a castle, but it's more of like a fortress of protection. It has something to do with the beginning of time, right? So if you tap into the life of when the planet first was seeded, then you would be then accessing the foundational experiences of the laws that have been incarnated within the planet. And that would then give you the answers that you're needing to move forward. It has something to do with Adam. With Lilith, with Eve. And then there's the truth story in the in-between, because the original story wasn't actually written. It was told via mouth, from word to one another and to others. So again, everything is spoken in riddles, in codes, in paradigms, and in parodies. And so you have to also understand that because we're not even vibrating anywhere near where we were vibrating when there were no impediments on the planet, and that's very important to tell, right? People keep saying, oh, well, this is the first time that we've ever been in this position on the planet, and that's actually not true, right? Because when there was nothing and there was no one and there was no impediments, we were that of God. And so we won't be in that in this incarnation, right? However, the blocks and the impediments that have been laid by those that have impeded literary books and scrolls and try to say that they were truth, download, the children will start having and seeing the actual truth because they have incarnated from those lifetimes. It's almost like they gapped from the time when we had to have these laws. No, that we did not listen to God's word, and these laws were then created, right? Because of the violation of the universal law, of the codes. And these kids are going to start speaking truth, right? It's kind of like out of the mouth of babes, the truth will come. And this is going to be like open Akashic records, like able to see truth. And this is essentially going to be coming from the little indigos and the little crystallines, that are probably between the ages, I would say, maybe 9, 8, to like 3. And like, it's crazy because the 3-year-olds, like, their knowledge and their cognitive awareness and like their ability to utilize vocabulary is just bananas, right? So I asked them about companionship, and because I just wanted to see like what was going to come, and they said like the end of your toxicities of the how you think, the how you move in the world, the what you're operating out of, the way that you've been like or desire to raise your children, right? All of these things, you're going to understand like the karma that was associated to it, the betrayal, the how like you constantly were picking people that your intuition was like, yo, you shouldn't do that, and instead you fell into like lustful desire. And so there is going to be this victory and this balancing of the scales from the divine of what was chosen. And in turn, those of you that did not go into your toxicities, right? Like you identified it and you said, nope, I'm not doing that. I refuse to repeat cycles, right? And like when you chose the ladder of the, like you stepped into your sovereignty, but your softness. And when you did that, you literally like lost all ties to the devil, to the lower vibrational entities, and you walked into your inheritance. It's almost like you started to see the walls that the maze created. And so like the reality looks different. It's kind of like Neo in the Matrix, right? With the lady with the red dress, or with the different programs. It's kind of like everything just starts sinking. You start seeing the true motives of people, the way people are operating, the what's happening. You see the stabs in the back before they actually even occur. And so like this is going to lead you into a state of victory. So with this new moon that's coming up, you know, put into your wish list. Don't like release anything. Don't identify anything that you've been stuck with. That's not what this moon is for. This moon is for celebration. This moon is for allowance of what is meant for you to come in. And it's time for you to fully separate, to dissipate the cords, and to step into a joyful state of being, right? Because like the truth is like all your hopes, wishes, and desires are right around the corner. You have to hold tight that it is here. Like you have to get into like the law of assumption, and you need to see it as, how do you want to feel? How do you want to wake up? Who do you want to wake up next to? How do you want to feel when that happens? Like what is the determining factor that you desire? do you want to have an abundant life? Can you even see yourself having an abundant life? Like, what does that look like? What is your happiness really look like? And I would dive more into the creation aspects of those things, of those facets, right? Like, expand on that. And that's going to be huge, because it's literally going, it's crazy. It's nuts, because like when you do that, you literally activate the karma, because you're not choosing to be reactive. You're holding yourself to your own divine guidance. You're holding yourself to your highest timeline, and you're not allowing like what other people are doing to affect you whatsoever. You're stepping into prosperity, you're stepping into love, and you're stepping into joy, right? And what that does is it literally pushes for those that have held back from you, those that have tried to keep you in a state where you were not resilient, where you had a ho-hum life, even though some of you, most of you, have signed up for a very expansive co-collaborative environment. And I'm getting like, you literally picked from your parents to like every single relationship to like friendships. It just kind of felt like you were like, yo, God, can I get a break? Like, at what point do I get a break? And it's all for naught, right? Because everything was meant for here, for now. It's something having to do with Venus, having to do with Sirius, having to do with Venusian vibration on the planet that has been in perpetual motion of like unpeeling the layer of the onion, but you had to do it in this manner to get to this point. And it's literally like you release the no, and then you step into the yes. You step into the like what is meant for you, and everything will start to unfold. And for those of you that have never done automatic writing, I would suggest getting into a meditative state. Only listen, like type in on like a YouTube fan video, right? And like listen to the fan, like Abraham says, or like do it on your Sirius, and allow yourself to just zone out and see if you can go into a meditative state where you lose track of time, where you lose track of thought, where you just are, right? You're in the void. And then after that, like go into writing and see what comes up, and just say, you know what? I want to talk to my higher self, and I want insight, and I want insight from my own lips. I don't want anything outside of me. I only want me with me. And take a moment and like do that, and do that before this new moon, and see what comes up, and ask for your divine inheritance. Ask for like what it is that the divine is working in the background for you, right? Yeah, again with the nurturing, I mean, it's really going to be imperative for your growth, for you to step into this wonderful state of being. Like, how are you nurturing? Like, they just said your womb, and maybe some of you out there need to do yoni steams, possibly. Because it's all about clearing out that old, right? Clearing out the gunk of those you've been with that have left their lower vibrational marks on your womb. You can't bring in an indigo any longer, or a crystalline, or a rainbow with spells, with impediments on the womb. Like, all of those cords have to dissipate from the physical plane and from the etheric plane, and from the higher self. Like, you have to activate these contracts. You have to activate like the things that are meant for you, and you have to allow your body to change, to shift. A lot of people that are indigos and a lot of people that are master 33s don't realize that knowingly, unknowingly, somebody put a spell on your womb, right? So that you could not give birth to children, because they were so scared of the power that you admitted in your frequency, in your DNA, right? There's a specific reason why you picked your mother and you picked your father to come into union. You have so many dormant gifts that you do not even know about. And if you were to truly pass those forward with another 33, like, think of the vibrational ripple that would go through the cosmic plane, right? That would change the frequency of the earth. So they're very, very adamant about trying to activate these things in the Ka body in your throne room, right? And if you guys don't know, I specifically, I've done it for a handful of YouTubers that are indigos, and I do that for other people that I'm told to clear throne rooms, right? I clear your Ka body. That is the body of physical incarnation that looks like your body in its truest form, right? And like, all of this was made so that, like, the old sequences keep your Ka body from being able to regenerate, for you to be unable to clear out all of the past life karma, all of the sorcery that has taken place up until this point. Because you have to think, black magic has been in dominance for many, many lifetimes. And they have essentially honed and tried to capture that of the light over and over and over. There's part of the reason why you've had to repeat lifetimes. If any of you have done QHHT, or any kind of past life regression, if you ask your higher self, how many times have I repeated this lifetime? It is absolutely mind-boggling how long people sit in the loop. I think I met somebody who had like 149 of the same exact life. Over and over, same players, same play, and they could not get out of karma. And this is kind of a last-ditch effort because they're so exhausted and so tired of, like, being in this repeat cycle, right? And that's essentially the way the dark kind of gets to where you never live in your full highest potential of, like, what the possibilities could become. And so, in closing, step into the wonderful life. Step into your divine inheritance. Allow fortune to be favored, right? Like I also suggest listening to Florence Scovel Shinn because I really love the way that she creates these mantras of allowing the ripple in the field so that it does start, like, moving towards you, and it is created without effort, and it comes very quickly when you use the proper verbiage in the way that you are creating, right? Some people learn instant manifestation. That's part of that. That's a component of it, right? So go ahead and cut that grounding cord for those of you that are still here, and place another one, and then you pick the color that you need to put into your aura to clear up the rips and tears and impediments that you have been exposed to, knowingly, unknowingly. Just identify it, right? And like I said, if whoever has stuff on their jaw, just identify it and allow it to release. In the thyroid, allow it to release. In the shoulders, allow it to sift out. In your knees, let's strengthen the knee portals and the ankle portals. And if you can, see where you are vibrating at. Once you hit 82 or above, you can go ahead and just stop, sit, and clear. And just say thank you. Thank you to your team. Thank you to your higher self. Thank you to the Divine Creator, God Source Energy. And thank you to get on a higher timeline. It's time for you to go out and do what it is you desire and what you are truly meant to do, how you are meant to impact. Through your writing, you will start to explore that a lot further. And just allow and ask, and don't judge it, but identify. And if you are Remember, your higher self is never going to be negative. It's never going to hold any information back from you. It's going to tell you absolutely everything. There is no separation between you and your higher self. And anybody who tells you your higher self can't tell you that, that is an ego. Your higher self will tell you absolutely everything because it wants you to win in this lifetime. It wants you to grow. It wants you to evolve. And it's really critical for you to start separating that which is not serving you or is in a negative positive or a positive negative, and only push for positive. And anything that is trying to keep you in a lower vibration, say thank you, no thank you, and move along, right? Like, you're not going to bring everybody with you on this evolutionary journey, and that is okay. It sucks, but it's not the end all be all. Like, just pray and ask for discovery, for insight, for truth, for foresight, for those of you that have foresight, right? And I think that's it. I'm going to leave that there. I say thank you. And until next time, be well. You are so stronger than they think you are. And don't you let anybody tell you any other way. You are a warrior in that body, and you are meant to change the world. Ciao.